the first thing that Renaissance women would use would be some kind of water, what was called a water. And waters in the Renaissance, when in terms of makeup, could be either water-based or alcohol-based. But they were both all called waters. And the most common thing that people used was bean flower water, which was made from broad bean flowers, which smell really lovely. They smell like sweet peas, and you'd distill them often at home, because people often made this themselves or maybe bought them from an apothecary, and you'd just apply it to the face as a kind of cleanser. My number 2 is kind of exfoliant. So people often used breadcrumbs, just simple breadcrumbs in water or in a scented water that you'd use to really make sure your face was smooth and remove impurities. And if you didn't have breadcrumbs, you could also use bran, and there's a recipe in my book for a bran cleanser with various herbs to make the water scented. And these just act exactly like you might use a face scrub today, and they work in more or less the same way, just to kind of properly clean the face. Occasionally they'd put these on and use them as masks overnight as well, so you might have this kind of breadcrumb face mask on overnight. So the third thing they might use is then some kind of lotion, and this would be oil-based or fat-based. So a really popular lotion would be violet oil, which you can make. You'd use olive oil, and this is really easy to make at home actually. And you get violet flowers, sweet violet flowers, and you either heat it and steep it in, or you just leave it in the oil for a couple of days. And it makes this really beautifully scented oil, and that would be also applied to the face, sometimes at night time. Or sometimes you'd make a more kind of a lotion that was more like a moisturiser today, and they would be normally made from some kind of animal fat, often sheep's tallow, that people could maybe get from as a byproduct of cooking. And sheep's tallow has a lot of vitamin E in, which is still used in skincare today, and other properties. And you might mix that with a scent like mastic, gum mastic, which is from a tree grown in Chios, very popular scent in the Renaissance, or frankincense. And you'd apply that as a kind of way of conditioning your face and avoiding wrinkles. And that cream I've made a lot of times, and I've shared it with a lot of people, and people love it. It smells really nice, and it actually feels really nice on the face because it forms an emulsion. It's not like a hard, greasy cream. I thought we'd go on to a hair product as well. I thought might be useful. So if you've got flyaway hair in the Renaissance, you could use a hair product based on mallow, which is a really lovely flower. They come in pink or dark pink or white, and you dig the whole flower up, including the root, clean it really well, mix it with some psyllium, which is a seed that grows fairly readily, and some willow leaves. If you put all that together in a pan, it kind of boils down and forms this amazing gloop, and you'd use that as a kind of leave-in conditioner, and that really works really well. It stops your hair flying away and things like that. So if you had flyaway hair, you could use that. The last thing that you could use is colour cosmetics, and although in the book we don't have a recipe for the white lead based cosmetic, because we don't want to encourage people to give themselves lead poisoning, you can substitute titanium dioxide, which is used in sunscreen, for that if you want, and that makes a really nice smelling foundation. It's mixed with rose water and violet oil, and you can put that quite finely on your face so it's not this big white mask. And then I know this is 6, but I'm going to include it in my 5, and then you can add this sandalwood rouge, and if you have a little bit of rouge on your cheeks and a little bit of red on your lips as well, and then you kind of you've got the perfect Renaissance look after doing all those things.